Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to give you an update on two lawn projects that I have been working on over the last few weeks. So firstly, we will look at the Bermuda lawn, which was scarified using the Scarifying rake. That process took place 2 weeks ago. So after the scarification, the lawn was also fertilized using a combination of granular and liquid fertilizers. And then we will look at the Zoysia lawn, well, a small section of the Zoysia lawn, which was manure 4 weeks ago. The reason for the manure application was because there were some bare spots which I was struggling to fill in. So the manure, as I said in many videos in the past, the manure, apart from just applying nutrients to the plants, they also improve the structure of the soil, that making it easier for the roots to develop and hence for the turf to grow stronger and healthier. So that is why I had applied manure to the Zoysia lawn. So this Bermuda lawn was scarified 2 weeks ago using the Scarifying rake attachment. Now, the reason why I scarify the lawn is basically to remove excess thatch and the dead material from the surface of the lawn. So there's a scarifying process that involves removing thatch as well from the soil. But the attachment I used, that could not go down into the soil. So that stayed in just in the canopy of the grass, raking out thatch and dead material. Now, a lot of people get nervous when they even see the process of scarification, because after the process of scarification, the lawn looks a bit rough. It can look really ugly for a few days after scarification, especially with Bermuda grass, because Bermuda grass has a lot of big stems that run about, and whenever the lawn is scarified, some of those are pulled up and the lawn can look quite messy. But as I've said so many times before, Bermuda grass, it's very, very quick to recover. So Bermuda grass spreads through underground runners known as rhizomes, as well as above ground runners known as stolons. So whenever the lawn is damaged, it is very, very quick to recover because it has runners both below and above the ground. So the scarification basically, as I said, it removes the thatch and it does allow for better water penetration as well as nutrients to make their way down into the soil. If the thatch is present, that would form a barrier between the surface of the soil and the surface of the grass itself. Now, whenever the lawn is watered or fertilized, that would make it difficult for the water and nutrients as well as sunlight to go down into the soil. Also, as the lawn is cleared out during the process, it also creates space for new growth. And as you can see, the lawn has thickened up so nicely. It now looks a lot healthier and it also looks a lot greener and it just looks better overall. Now, you would recall when the lawn was scarified 2 weeks ago, it really looked ugly for a few days after the process was completed. But within a week, the lawn had recovered very, very nicely. And all that I've been doing since is just to mow. I try to mow 2 to 3 times per week, and I water once or twice per week as well, depending on whether or not there is rainfall. So after scarifying the lawn, I did apply both granular and liquid fertilizers. Now the granular fertilizer, that is a slow release fertilizer. So it basically breaks down over a longer period of time. So the granular fertilizer can be seen as a feeding program for the lawn that happens over a period of time. Whereas the liquid fertilizer, which was applied as well, that works like a quick, well, it is a quick release fertilizer, meaning that the nutrients are released into the, well, it is released into the soil as well as through the tissues in the leaves of the plant. The leaf tissues and the structure of the root absorb the liquid fertilizer much faster than it would the granular fertilizer, because the granular fertilizer is not automatically or is not immediately dissolved into the soil. Hence, it won't be easy to be absorbed as it would with the liquid fertilizer, because the liquid fertilizer is already in a liquid form. So now let us move over to the zoysia, or this small portion of zoysia grass. So 4 weeks ago, I did an application of manure. The reason for the manure application was to try to get the lawn to fill in some bare spots that existed because of the removal of some Bermuda grass that was present in the zoysia grass. I wanted to give the lawn a boost. So I wanted to improve the structure of the soil, which would allow the runners to run more easily. So zoysia, like Bermuda grass, they do spread through runners above the ground, known as stolons, as well as runners below the ground, known as rhizomes. So with an improved soil structure, that makes it easier for the roots, or for the, as well as for the runners to spread, and that in turn would speed up the filling of the zoysia grass into the bare spots. So unlike synthetic fertilizers that mainly provide nutrients to the plants, manure improves the structure of the soil itself. It also adds organic matter to the soil. It increases microbial activity, and it also helps the soil to hold on to moisture for a longer period of time. So healthy soil leads to healthier roots, and healthier roots lead to improved growth. So that explains why I applied manure over the lawn as a means of getting the lawn to fill in the bare spots as quickly as possible. So as the soil improves, the zoysia was able to spread more easily or more quickly. And as you can see, the lawn as it is now compared to what it was prior to the application, which was 4 weeks ago, the lawn has filled in quite significantly. Now it hasn't filled in completely, because with lawn care, one very important thing to bear in mind is that lawn recovery is not an overnight thing. It really needs patience when dealing with lawn care or gardening in general. It is something that will teach you a lot of patience. So I am extremely pleased with how both lawns have performed. The Bermuda lawn, it has responded amazingly to the scarification and then the application of liquid and granular fertilizers. And the zoysia lawn, it has filled in appreciably since the application of manure. So those are two ways in which you can improve the performance of your lawn. So one, scarification, where thatch and dead material were removed from the grass, thus improving the ability of the nutrients and water to go down into the soil and into the roots of the plants. And the manure served as a means of improving the structure of the soil. It does apply some nutrients as well, but its main purpose is to improve the structure of the soil. And with an improved soil structure, it means that the roots are better able to spread, and with stronger roots you will have a healthier plant. So there you have it, an update on the recovery of the lawns after scarification, liquid and granular fertilizer applications, and an application of manure. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.